Hello stars, my name is Blue and today we are lost in Hiveswap Friendsim. Last time we left off we did Mr. Zebedee Bumblebee over here. And today we get to explore Mr. Katana Anime Man. Tigiri? I want to read it like a Japanese name, but Tigiri? Just gotta call him TK because that's his initials. Let's hope my brain doesn't decide to call him something else halfway through the video. But let's go with Mr. Pseudo Anime Man. TK. In an utterly unsurprising turn of events, the knight finds you trolling Alternia in search of, well, trolls. The friendly type, preferably. Although you've been known to work wonders with hostile folks, too. Your current hunting ground appears to be a primarily teal neighborhood, which suits you fine. Teals live relatively comfortably, and are usually only mildly disdainful of you. This strikes you as a good place to search for a companion. You've got another pressing concern, though. A faint glow, far on the horizon, which suggests that the sun will be rising soon. A couple of hours from now, at most. Nights on Alternia seem to last forever, but when daylight hits, it hits hard, like a truck, but the truck is on fire, and the fire is a nuclear fusion, and the truck is a star. You don't say, MC, you don't say. Point is, you're not in the mood for another sunburn. You better snag a buddy before it's too late. You, the strange, hornless thing. I see your L's are slashes, and that's gonna drive me insane. Speak of the devil, you whip around and spot a troll boy with a stylish hat and a sword sheathed behind his back. His clothes are a little shabby, but he carries himself with a rigid, composed air. Okay, I had to turn it down for a little bit because it was loud in my ears. What are you, some kind of mutant troll, or another sentient creature? Definitely the latter, you say, unless he would prefer the former, in which that case, you're that, actually, but mutants, you've learned, are not particularly well liked on this planet. An alien, I won't have to kill you then. Not immediately, at least. You don't appear to be coal on sight species. Luckily for you, that I won't have to lose my blade. And lucky for me, I found a potential comrade. Now, I know what you seek. Shelter and friendship, and not necessarily in that order. You're about to speak up, but he's already moving on. You seek the meeting place of the Eastern Alternian Fine Animated Art Appreciation Society. Or, as some less cultured souls would call it, the Anime Club. It's an anime club, TK. I was in an anime club. It's an anime club. Oh, a club. Back home, teachers used to go on and on about how clubs were a wonderful place to meet new friends. I didn't meet any new friends. I sat in the corner by myself, and I glared at anybody who would look at me. I was not very sociable in school. This is why I only have, like, 2 or 3 friends now since I've graduated. You didn't really believe it then, but maybe things are different here on Alternia. You confidently assert that yes, you are here for the animes. Good. I feared I was going to have to cancel tonight's meeting due to no-shows, but now it can proceed as scheduled. Follow me. He gestures towards his hive and begins to stride confidently towards it, but then he rethinks it, pausing to look back at you. Wait. Subs or dubs? I watch in dubs because, you know, half the time I'm not even looking at the screen. I'm doing stuff on my phone and I'm just listening to what I'm watching. So we're just gonna go with subs because he seems like someone who would like subs. Heh, it's entertaining how wrong you are. But even in the greatest Alternius fighters require sparing opponents on the battlefield of intellect. To challenge your assumptions with my superior logic and taste will be a fulfilling task. Does he like dubs? Oh my god, he likes dubs. What? Come in. Not really the reaction you were hoping for, but you'd say anything to get into someone's hive, so you'll take it. Oh my god. Oh my god, his hive. Look at his waifus. Look at that sword collection. This poster's badass. Can I have it? TK invites you into his hive with a sweeping bow, and you step into the foyer. Also, I realized it's like a Japanese cabin house thing. What are they called? Damn, I can't remember. The hive looks normal from the outside, normal by troll standards at least, but the inner decor has an entirely different vibe to you. Reminds you of Japanese architecture. TK takes off his sandals before entering the next room. You take off your shoes too, if you had any. As you step into his living room, you are assaulted, not literally, thankfully, by the absolute smorgasbord of merchandise. This place looks like someone did a Google search for Otaku collection and opened the first result. Posters and scrolls adorn every inch of wall available, and the inches of walls that aren't available are blocked by shelves containing all sorts of DVDs, manga, and other forms of media. On a large glass shelving unit near the room's exit, you spy the veritable cornucopia of anime figurines, most of whom seem to be in varying states of undress. Yeah, most of the time they're in like bikinis. You would like to describe it as tasteful nudity, but you would also like to describe yourself as the most popular person on Alternia, and both would be a lie. Is that a One Piece reference up here? This is like the only one that I really understand. I never got like big into anime. TK has arranged his merch meticulously according to blood color, from red at the bottom to fuchsia at the top. I see you are buying my finest East Altarian collectibles. I polish them daily, just as I polish my blade. Don't touch them, or you'll taste folded steel. I don't actually have a doubt in my mind that he could probably actually wield and do damage with that blade, considering the planet he lives on. You slowly retract your hand. You wouldn't dream of touching them. That was never ever something you were planning on doing. You wouldn't even breathe on them. In fact, you step far away from the collectibles just in case. Oh my god, his Lucis is adorable! With that step, you bump into something behind you and hear soft rough. As you spin to look, you see what must be TK's Lucis surveying you with an intense gaze. It looks a lot like a Shiba Inu if they were twice the size and had opposable everything, honestly. Watching it scuttle around like a monkey while sniffing at you is pretty entrancing. Eventually, you seem to meet its standards because it darts out of the room. You hear some rustling in what you assume is the kitchen. That was Tatashi Inu. My Lucis. Of course his name is Tatashi. He taught me everything I know. I could not have asked for a better sensei. Yeah, dogs are great, you respond. Then immediately you wish you could take it back. Dogs are great. That's gotta be the blandest possible statement you've ever made. And possibly inaccurate too? What's this thing called? A bark beast? A fetch friend? A wolf gremlin? Oh, TK isn't even paying attention to you anymore. He's busy perusing his shelves, picking out some DVDs. Per my viewing schedule, we'll watch a carefully curated selection of episodes from one classic and from one recent release. But, since you're a newcomer, it might be best not to jump into the middle of last bout's series, Full Officer Half Iron. I have no idea what that is. Ah! I missed dialogue! Perhaps we shall instead begin with the first season of school-fed heroism and transition into some episodes of Kismet Stuck Morning. The original airing, of course, not the censored one with the ridiculous CGI dragon. Ugh, what are we talking about? Looks like TK intends to take full control of the morning's activities, which you find entirely copacetic? Copacetic? Fancy word. I need to get my vocabulary back up. I feel stupid. The less you need to assert your own opinions and make your own choices, the less likely you are to fuck up, mood. It's probably not a healthy way to live, but it's gotten you somewhere between 1 to 19 friends so far, and you're sticking to it. With deft and precise movements, TK retrieves a disc from its container and pops it in the troll equivalent of a DVD player. It makes a slimy chugging noise as it sucks the disc in, and like usual, you aren't sure if it's an inanimate object or a living being. Either way, you're a little disgusted. The DVD player hums, and TK's TV lights up with a colorful title screen. You're ready to get... Take two. You're ready to get settled in for a journey through a wonderful world of animes, but he frowns and pauses the episode less than a minute in. Hang on. This isn't the correct copy. The localization on these lines was changed after the original translator was killed by a purple blood for crimes against buffoonery. I specially ordered the first edition and paid extra for it. This is unacceptable. TK stuffs the DVD player and injects the disc and places it back in its case. Come, there's still time in the night. We need to go resolve this immediately. The shop that imported it for me is nearby. He heads for the door and beckons for you to follow, which you do. You guess it was too much to hope for a quiet morning inside, wasn't it? At least you get to go shopping for animes, which sounds fun enough. Will it be, one of those fancy automated stores, you wonder? No, unlike most stores in Alternia, this specialty shop is run by a living troll. A fellow collector who would not entrust such work to automation. So one would expect that an actual think pan involved, there would be no careless mistakes like this. At least I'm on good terms with the owner, so I doubt there will be trouble. You, on the other hand, expect plenty of it. Pretty much everything on this goddamn planet has been trouble so far. Does he know how awful it is? You don't want to human-splain it to him or anything, but things are pretty awful here. Things are pretty awful here. Oh, you guess he knows. He's staring at one of the many billboards that line the street, which has been defaced with some bright red graffiti. It's saying some pretty nasty stuff about Trizara. No! Siri! I don't know if that picked up, but Siri was talking. Triza. Why did I say Trizara? Where did I get the R? I was probably taking this and putting it double. Triza. Rebel sentiments grow by the moment. Alternia lies on the verge of peril. A blade edge. Not any blade, but the blade of a razor-sharp folded steel katana. Forged under the East Alternian moonlight. Heated by the bellows breath of a magnificent Dragonian Lucis. Cooled by the shimmering cascade of an acid waterfall. And fit to be handled only by a true expert. This is gonna sound really lame and nerdy, but I actually know how katanas are made. So, like, I can see everything he says. Do you dance? You're caught a little off guard by that question. Dancing, as in moving one's body to music? In a way, yes. Moving to the sweet music of steel on steel, the rhythm of combat, the stiletto step that weaves death and glory into one beautiful motion. Do you dance? Oh, sword fighting, of course. You really should have figured that one out. This guy's dial has only 2 settings, talking about swords or talking about anime. Sometimes he gets particularly frisky and talks about both at once. You tell him that you don't know how to handle swords, but they seem really cool, and you'd love to learn. Cool. Feh. Swordplay is more than cool. It's a way of life, a code of honor. He simultaneously looks really dorky and really cool every time he does that pose. To pick up the blade is to bind yourself to the tenets of Bushido, and to be prepared at all times to enforce justice, the only way a swordsman knows, through steel. Someday, the pursuit of justice may bring me face to face with these rebel scum. I must be ready to show them the true magnificent terror of the blade. Who knows, maybe I could be awarded a Congressional Medal of Honor. Congressional? Congressional. Of course. A troll can dare to dream. So that's why he practices swordplay, huh? To enforce justice? Kind of like a vigilante? Vigilante? Please. I would only kill a troll who legally deserved death. What kind of lawless moron do you take me for? You don't take him for any moron at all. In fact, he's very smart and clever and just... You hope you're not laying it on too thick, but he seems to enjoy the praise. He's so dorky. I lean towards dorky characters, so he's definitely on the top of my favorites so far. Why am I like this? It's probably because I'm dorky. Ah, here we are. This won't take too long. He's taking you to a night market that reminds you of a place where you met Palipa. A strip mall lies to the left of the many tents and stalls, and a sign above one door leads Super Tapato Imports. And the dogs are barking. Of course, the dogs are barking. As you enter, TK makes a beeline for the counter, which is manned by a greasy-looking gold-blood with pinkish-looking eyes. Did we get to see him? Or nah? You, on the other hand, are more interested in the rest of the store. It looks a lot like TK's living room, but bigger. Well, yeah, I would assume so. Anime figurines on sale for what looks to be a preposterous amount of money. DVDs and comics lining the shelves, arcade games in the corner. I wonder if someone's here. I wonder if that's why they're barking. Oh well. There's even a selection of replica swords, which all look far too sharp and legitimately deadly for your liking. Sulking between the shelves is an olive blood guy. You can't quite tell if he works here or if he's just browsing. You're not sure if any trolls even have normal jobs. You're about to ask the olive guy about a particularly interesting DVD when you're distracted by a commotion at the counter. You're pretty sure you heard TK snarling something about his rights as a customer. Oh, not one of you. Looks like trouble is brewing. You turn your head towards the counter and listen in. Do you really think you can get away with ripping me off like this? Do you know who I am? My blood caste? Oh god. A teal blood like me has connections, a vast network of like-minded souls at my beck and call, ready to be unsheathed against my hapless foes. I liked you, man. You were doing well. Hey, there's this stupid game that we had to play for, TD's stupid password stuff. The legal force I can bring to bear against your greater... The legal force I can bring to bear against you is greater than your mind could ever imagine. A fleet of legislators will descend on you like shadow clones, each armed with the greatest weapon of them all, knowledge. And with our intricate understanding of the Alternian legal code, you will be mired in suits so myriad, so mind-numbing, that you will wish for the swift and early death my blade can provide. Or, you can offer me an exchange of equal or greater value to my original purchase. Which path will you choose to walk, scum? You wander closer to the counter, hoping you might be able to help resolve the situation, but instead you plunder right into the olive blood, sending a box tumbling from his hands to the ground. A bunch of assorted products spill out as the shopkeeper gasps dramatically. You don't see what the big deal is. Looks like some more DVDs and manga. One cover features a troll with heart-shaped horns and a bright pink sign. Another features some red-blooded douchebag wearing pants way too tall for him. TK picks up one of the mangas and waves it in front of the shopkeeper's face. I got a text from my mother. Hang on. Care to explain what I'm looking at here? Imperial Dictate Number the second Section 3.2, the depiction of non-standard hemological attributes are strictly forbidden. Imperial Dictate number the 7th, Section 5, material which encourages action against the state is considered contraband to the highest degree. The olive blood, who can clearly see the situation careening downhill like a scuttle buggy without wheel stops, begins to creep towards the door. You'd love to do the same, but you can't give up a potential new friend. It's basically pathological. To think my favorite Eastern Alternian hobby could stoop so low as to peddle this criminal filth. But a sickening betrayal. The shopkeep stammers, offering a litany of muddled explanations that only seem to incense TK further. He was holding it for a friend. No, wait, it's satire? TK, oh my god. Is that the anime eyes? Is that Naruto anime eyes? It is Naruto, right? I don't know how to pronounce it. I never watched it. Come for me. I don't care. I never was into it. TK slams a palm down on the counter and his eyes shoot open, revealing dark purple irises with strange swirl pattern. They're really pretty, actually. Imperial Dictate number the 61st, Section 2. Satire is especially contraband. You think you can mess with me? I watched countless hours of legal drama, played and replayed legendary legislators, and memorized every twist. I know the law back and forth. And now, it's time for the punishment due. You're fucking dead, kiddo. As TK leans over the counter with his free hand and grips the hilt of his katana and tenses, ready to draw, he's about to straight up execute this guy. What if we intervene? Okay, you know this is a terrible idea, but you seriously had it up to here with being the party to the murder of random trolls. You quickly interpose yourself between TK and the Gold Blood. Does he really have to kill this guy for what seems to be his first offense? You launch into an impassioned spiel about love and friendship and justice, writing the value of forgiveness and second chances really hard, and for good measure you throw in a little side note about how TK's favorite shop will close down if he kills this dude. Silence. TK shoves you roughly aside and you go careening into a display of body pillows. You watch, stomach plummeting, as TK turns back to the shopkeep and slowly draws his sword. But then, at the last second, he reconsiders. Consider yourself lucky I'm in a good mood. If I catch you selling contraband again, your life will be mine. TK strides out of the store holding a fresh copy of the DVD he wanted to exchange. You give the shopkeep a vaguely apologetic look and rush out of the store behind him. Whew, that was a close one. You thank TK profusely for listening to your dumb little speech about whatever it was you said. Honestly, you already forgot. You're clearly new to this planet. I felt pity for your naivety. But I should have killed him. Death is legally prescribed punishment for such crimes as his. Actually, it's the legally prescribed punishment for most crimes. I should have separated him from his head. But I looked into your pleading eyes and I saw. TK goes quiet. You would describe the silence as being particularly brooding. Brooding. There's a lot of silences like that on this planet. Then finally he speaks. This isn't my first time. It was just over a sweep ago, I believe. I was patrolling the Hive batch in search of evildoers when I caught the unmistakable scent of smoke in the air. Upon pursuing the lead, I saw a hive particularly collapse, partially on fire. My instincts flared, and I rushed in to help the innocent soul who was trapped in there. But as I was helping the girl bandage her wounds, it occurred to me that I had made a grievous error in judgment. Trolls below a certain age without a lucis or a proper hive are considered unviable and slated to be culled. By rights, I should have put her out of her misery the moment I realized my mistake. And yet, I looked into her deep gray eyes, dulled from pain and loss, and I sheathed my blade. In fact, even though she's hiveless and looseless, I remain in contact with her to this day, knowing deep down that one day I must cull her. The law demands it. But I haven't yet. I don't know if I could. Why does my conviction waver at times like these? If he's talking about who you think he's talking about, you're pretty sure he couldn't kill her even if he tried. But that's not the point here. The point is he's spilling some real and true and deep emotion with you. This friendship is basically in the bag. Just gotta drop some sweeping vague wisdom that makes him feel better and potentially not being an unthinking clog in the Alternian murder machine. You offer a light suggestion that maybe what is legal and what is just aren't always the same thing. What is just aren't always the same thing. Just a little thought. Maybe he's doing the right thing, overlooking her situation because of how obviously fucked up it is to be a homeless orphan. He goes silent for a long time, chewing his bottom lip. Feh. You're naive. Naive, uncultured, unenlightened. Wow, thanks. You think the world is simple, like a cartoon for children. Listen, buddy. Going against the legal system, deciding just because it's legal doesn't mean it's just, is not a child cartoon. But this is Alternia, a land ruled by cold logic. No, it's not. Where men such as myself must take the hard decisions. It's not easy being dedicated to a code of law. It asks much of us and gives little in return, but it gives us order. It keeps the beast at bay. If I were to question it, what then? Would I begin to wonder if it is unjust for a blue blood to command his servants, for imperial drones to cull the infirm, for us to obey the ever-changing whims of Alternian royalty? It takes a lot of effort to suppress your, well, yeah, but for the sake of this begrudging friendship, you allow him to continue his monologue. We have a lot to teach you, TK. You'll learn. Riots in the streets, troll killing troll, even more than usual, I mean. No, I cannot waver. These hands must remain steady and true. Though I feel a pull towards the scorching fangs of light, I must continue my path and remain in the tender righteousness embrace of the dark. Truth be my blade, intellect my sensei, and justice my only companion in this lonely road. He goes on like that for quite a while. It starts to muddle together in your head, and you lose count of how many times he's repeated some screed about justice and truth and being smarter than all the other trolls in the room. And honestly, sounds to you like he's just lonely. You know a whole lot about loneliness and the poor management thereof. Some people throw themselves into their nerdy anime hobby, and others become obsessed with making friends no matter the cost of their mental or physical well-being. Maybe he just needs a couple of good pals to remind him what it's like to have a heart. But if you try to tell him that, he'll probably just respond with another long, winding monologue, likely stolen from an anime he watched recently. Maybe you should just let him vent. You have my thanks for lending your ear. Oh, a compliment brings you out of your reverie. Nothing interrupts the old intro-retrospection machine like the opportunity to chug on the succulent ambrosia that is the praise of our gratitude. It's no big deal, you tell him. You're a great listener. That's what friends are for. Has he considered having more friends like you, for example? He opens his mouth like he's about to reiterate the whole lone swordsman thing, so you hastily try to change the topic. What's with his eyes? Most trolls you've seen have gray irises, and those who don't follow the typical biological trend of displaying their and those who didn't follow the typical biological trend of displaying their blood color. There we go. I had to read that for a little bit. TK pauses. His grip tenses on his sword as fangs dig into his lip. Oh geez. This must be his closely guarded secret. Have you earned enough trust to hear it? They're contact lenses for cosplay. Why? Oh, fair enough. Actually, is cosplaying a different bloodcast even legal on this planet? If he's doing it, it probably is, right? You're about to ask when something distracts you. The sight of another troll standing in front of TK's hive, using it as shelter from the rising sun. They're pacing back and forth with precise movements, glancing at one of the windows almost like they're plotting to break in. And when they hear footsteps approaching, they perk up and roll their head around. Hey, wait a second! You recognize them! Polypa spots you before TK spots her. Her expression is hard as stoic, eyes glancing between the two of you as she assesses the situation. Then, like she's throwing on a disguise, her face softens and smiles. Hey, Tegs. I was starting to wonder where you were, and if anime night was cancelled. Ulysses is staring at me through the window. I think he thinks it's funny, watching me stuck outside, roasting to death while you're chasing Purbeast around the hive batch. Heh, classic Tadashi. Why were you late? Just busier than I expected. With some work. She shoots you a sharp glance. Assembling some new mecha models. You know how it is. Yes, of course. It's all too easy to get wrapped up in one's hobby. Anyways, I didn't realize we have a third for once. Not to mention somebody I know. Nani? Oh god. You and my new kohai have already met. Oh god! You're not my senpai TK. You will never be my senpai. She pauses, her eyes darting back and forth between you two once more. She seems to be assessing the situation, wearing a look of an assassin trying to evade capture. You recognize that look, considering she was literally wearing it last time you met. We're kind of Moirels. We're Moirels! We have a quadrant field! Whoa! That's absolutely not what you thought you were. But you just kind of nod your head and roll with it. It seems to be what she wants you to do. Oh, Moirels. TK's face tightens almost imperceptibly, but you caught it. Nothing gets past your own friend-making eyes. Well, actually, a lot of things get past them, but not this particular thing. You're finally tuned to the nuisance of social situations, as long as those nuisances don't involve making a binary choice on which your social future hinges. Well, as you know, I am far too busy studying the blade to pursue quadrants of any sort. Aw, he wanted to be our Moirail. That's so cute! A foolish waste of time. We're not here for the laws of this land. Were it not for the laws of this land, I would have sweared them off entirely. Are you sure it isn't that you just can't get a date? You don't have to play the mysterious loner, you know. There's other clubs you could join instead of insisting on running your own. He huffs, looking away. You hear Lucis barking from the window, in the tone that sounds like laughter. Fools mock that which they cannot understand. And to think I was going to congratulate you on finding love. Once you finish your spiel about romance being dumb, Polypa gives him a light, friendly whap, which he responds to with a smile. You can tell the exchange is friendly, not only because he's smiling, but because he's still standing. Assassination joke. It took me a second to get that. Or maybe TK wants to be Polypa's Moirail. Dun dun dun. I just thought about that possibility. It's not all about us! Enough banter. The harsh glare of the sun begins to crust, and we have Eastern Alternian animation to indulge in. I'll allow you both to spend a day at my hive if needed. There's space. Oh shit, a slumber party? And with more than one participant even? That's gotta be worth extra friendship points. You were so in. Shelter from the broiling death orb in the sky barely even registers to you as an added bonus. Polypo smiles at you as the three of you enter TK's hive. TK covers up all his... I saw that! I know those, fuck. I know those characters too, but I can't translate them right now because every bit of Japanese I learned is out the door. TK covers up all the windows to block out the sun, then starts a new copy of his DVD, which thankfully seems to have met his standards this time. You settle in on the couch, basking in the warm glow of friendship, and prepare to lose yourself to hours of beautiful, wonderful animes. I love this. Oh my god, the dog thing is in our lap. Ah, cuteness! We have a moirail! That's amazing. I kind of thought already that Polypa considered us a moirail, since the way she reacted to us. I wonder how many of them consider us moirails, actually. That's a good question. But we've made our 20th friend, and we didn't fuck up this time like we usually do. Like I usually do. I'm the only one making decisions over here. What am I saying? But, he's okay. If Polypo likes him, then I'll give him a chance. Oh, and I actually had my cup with me this time, so we're learning. Slowly. But that's it for today. If you liked the video, please like it. And subscribe if you haven't already to join our wonderful galaxy. Leave a comment down below and I'll get back to you some way or another. And I will see you for our next adventure. Remember, we're all made of the same cosmic dust, so be nice. Kate, love you. Bye!